Bill 2023. Let's listen in.
Be paid for education, insurance, many other things, blah, blah. They provide you a car, everything. So by the time you're getting there and you have that positivity, then the management says, oops, at this moment, we'll not be able to provide the car and the education. But this other will be able. Give us time, because we realize that we have a challenge here. They've been able to. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to readjust and take your kids to the school that will be affordable. Also, be able to see which mode of transport will be able to sustain me before I get that. So that is where we are, whereby we've not been able to deliver some of the things, not all, some of the things. And remember, where we are on a long-term based solution and not short-term. We are not, Kenya Kwanza is no longer politicking. We are factual. And that is where the opposition, which I still congratulate them, because they're still doing their opposition role in terms of oversighting and being able to look into what the government is doing. There's no problem. The only challenge that they're using is that they're still using the same old one of mechanism, which is mandamano. We can't subject everything to mandamano. As I said, when you put sufuria on your head, then tomorrow with the cost of unga go down, we have to look at the other factors that bring about the cost of unga being at 200, being at 250, being at the price that it is. Which are these costs? There are other manufacturing costs, cost of production that are behind here.
And those are the ones that are being addressed now.
Those are the ones. And how are they being addressed?
Let's take a break. We'll continue. It's 20 minutes to 10. The Honorable Tabitha Mutinda Munene is a senator. She's the vice chair of the Finance and Budget Committee of the Senate. As we take this break, go to itax.kra.go.ke and file your tax.
All right, and that was, Tabitha Mutinda, who is the Vice Chair, Senate Finance and Budget Committee, just shedding more light on what's next after the Parliament passed the Finance Bill 2023. And as Parliament looks forward to discuss and vote for the amendments in the Finance Bill 2023-2024 that will begin from Tuesday, the Orange Democratic Movement ODM party has announced that it has begun the process of receiving responses before taking disciplinary action against its 28 members of Parliament over alleged misconduct during the second reading of the Finance Bill 2023. ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna has insisted that disciplinary action will be taken once all the accused MPs have submitted their response to the party leadership. Willie Lusige reports on a division over the Finance Bill by leaders across the country.
Orange Democratic Movement ODM party has announced that it has begun receiving responses from its 28 members of parliament over alleged misconduct during the second reading of the Finance Bill 2023/2024. ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna insisting that the disciplinary action will be taken once and all the accused MPs have submitted their responses to the party leadership.
The disciplinary committee then will be convened next week to look at everybody's explanation. If people have given reasonable excuses as to why they were not present, they will be looked at. But those who will not be giving satisfactory explanations, then the disciplinary process will continue from there.
Those in the list are 28 ODM members of parliament who either voted in favor of the bill and those who were marked absent during the second reading of the controversial bill. The 28 members of parliament include Nairobi woman representative Esther Passaris and 3 others who defied the party position and voted in favor of the bill. Also summoned are 24 other legislators who were absent during the voting exercise on Wednesday.
Nobody will have an excuse on Tuesday. Let everybody stand up to be counted, and we are hoping that this bill will be defeated, because even those who are supporting that bill, they accept that in fact life has become very difficult for the members of the public, for the common mwananchi.
A move that has been supported by DAP-K, an Azimio la Umoja affiliate party. DAP Kenya calling on its members of parliament to turn up in large numbers from Tuesday during the tabling of amendments to the finance bill before the entire House Committee for members of parliament to debate and vote on each amendment.
Hiyo ndio vitu tunasema wajumbe wetu muende bungeni Tuesday na Thursday. Hiyo mswada mtoe hiyo house levy, kwa sababu kila mtu yuko. Kuna wajumbe wengine hapa Kakamega tunaangalia na macho mbili. Kama hawezi fanya chenye Oparanya yuko mbele na Raila Amolo Odinga wanataka, election inakuja. Kama mnataka kuumiza wananchi, either usimame na wananchi ama uende usimame na William Ruto. Mimi nitasimama na wananchi.
A section of leaders from Nyanza have accused MPs who voted in favor of the bill for prioritizing their personal gain, warning that is a recipe to a higher cost of living.
Wananchi are watching. Those who voted yes, wananchi waliwaona na wanawangoja. Siku yenu inakuja na mtakutana kwa debe na wananchi. I guarantee you, all of you who voted yes are going home. Because you have voted against wananchi who voted for you to go and look into their issues.
A section of other leaders voting for the finance bill, terming it the only way for Kenya to fund its development projects. Narok County Governor Patrick Ole Ntutu and a section of Maa community leaders have also rallied behind members of parliament from the region who voted yes to the finance bill 2023.
Kwa nini watu wanapika kelele tukisema wale watosi kama Ole Ntutu ambaye anapata pesa mingi na kuna suti nzuri alipe hiyo ushuru ndio tuone kama ekonomi yetu itastabilize.
Na nikamwambia yes, I said yes. Because my vote would not have made a difference. Sindio? But I made sure that I voted kwa maendeleo yenu, nimepigia stima yenu, nimepigia barabara.
Eldas Member of Parliament Adan Keinan has called upon Kenyans to support President William Ruto's tax collection initiative so as to fund government activities without borrowing, insisting that paying taxes is the only guarantee for the electorate to demand services from the government.
Unajua kulipisha kodi ni chungu sana, ni ngumu. Lakini kama serikali haitalipisha kodi, je, walimu watapata mishahara namna gani? Wahusika usalama watapata mishahara namna gani? Mimi nitalipwa namna gani?
All eyes now are on ODM to see the actions it will take against the listed members. Willie Lusige, KTN News, Nairobi.
Right, and now let's cross over live at Spice FM, where Tabitha Mutinda, who is the Vice Chair of the Senate Finance and Budget Committee, is currently, of course, speaking to Kenyans in regard to what her take is regarding the budget, the Finance Bill 2023. Let's cross over live and listening.
Could have possibly happened. But it goes back to my question, that how do you convince people that voted for you? How do you convince people that you take their matters seriously? Because this is what it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what side of the political divide you're on. It doesn't matter who is walking out in the streets and picketing and lobbying. It doesn't matter who is on the side of the executive. What matters is that the livelihoods of Kenyans are secured, that the livelihoods of Kenyans are operated within a conducive environment, that people's businesses are protected, that the very cries that Kenyans have on a daily basis then are actually guaranteed for care in that house. But unfortunately, we don't often see that. And that's that we do not. More, brick and mortar aside, all the papers and the legal team who can help you, that's great. But the spirit of representation of the people, for me, I'm sad to say that it doesn't show. It does not show. The people of Kenya who listen on a daily basis, the people who have their eyes peeled the whole day tomorrow and who are waiting for bills that you have, by the way, waiting for, they're really asking themselves, how do we know that these people are actually there representing us? How? Because the lived experience shows something totally different. It's a cry from Kenyans.
Yeah.
It needs to be heard. It needs to be addressed.
Correct. And that's why we are not tiring, and we'll be out here and talk to Kenyans. I want to start by continue by saying, I really do appreciate the Kenyans who have been paying taxes, who are paying taxes, and who will continue paying taxes. Because as our motto says about taxes in Swahili, kulipa ushuru ni kujitegemea. The question that is here today is also the value that you get after paying these taxes. Is there value? And it is a high time, yes, that any increment in that tax then needs to give mwananchi the value that they deserve. Good roads, good hospitals, and many other infrastructures in it. It is very key. The question in terms of mwananchi themselves, because it is Mwananchi who put us here, something we really appreciate and much respect. And through the public participation, they've been able to come out and air their concerns. The question is on how Mwananchi is then going to benefit in regards to the communications we've had during our campaigns. Then where is Mwananchi today? You realize that, like, for example, the housing part, we've moved from 3% to 1.5%. Away from that, what are the benefits? The major benefits, one of it is job creation during the constructions of these properties and housing. At the same time, there is room for Mwananchi to be able to have better living standards of housing. As you know, we have over 1,400 slums in this country. Nairobi is largely affected or has a bigger capacity in terms of our slums. No toilets, no basics, no other social amenities within. And so the solution through the housing plan is broad. There's also going to be a business for the local suppliers, the local manufacturers. The Jua Kali people, they actually have an association, and it has been incorporated by the areas whereby the projects have, we have housing projects like in Shauri Moyo and other areas that the president has already been able to commission. And the people doing the Jua Kali jobs are able to get opportunity to supply, and then the youths are able to work there. Apart from the 5 other key benefits of the finance, of what are stated in the bill, whereby you are able to own a home, okay, you are able to transfer these funds to pension, you are able to receive the funds directly, you are able to transfer the funds, you are able to conjoin and get bigger property depending. There's the question of, now, is it a fund? Is it a tax? As it is, it's not even a tax, because tax is what then is never refundable to you, does not come back to you.
That's what it has become now.
It's not tax. So.
But
actually,
it's money.
Tax comes back to you, Mheshimiwa.
It comes
only
back
indirectly.
through indirectly, through the infrastructures and all that. But this one, you are able to access within 7 years, you are able to access that particular, it's a saving. But now it has been changed and made to sound such that it is a tax to negate and to make it look so painful and negative. Let me talk about food security. Food security, it's very key, can only be achieved through agriculture. What has the bill done? The bill has gone further and exempted tax on fertilizer, raw material on fertilizer. The bill has also exempted the cost of the pesticides. The bill has also exempted things like of course, on the medical side, vaccines in the health sector. We've also seen tax on import tax for commodities like the fish, so that we are able to promote the local, producers locally. So this bill is two-way. There's where it increases so as to benefit now back here the local Mwananchi, like the people in Western. Then there people are so much rejecting this bill, not looking at the advantage that they have as far as the cost of importation is being increased, so that people can buy the fish down here locally. So back to on the issue of the fertilizers, also in the budget, there's the funds for subsidy for the fertilizer, so that this can be able to help and improve on food security. At the same point, I've been able to say and state, why are we still looking at unga, and more specific, ugali, as the only food commodity that we have in this country?
Because
why is it not the high time to be able to tell our people to expand and get out of the unga issue as the only commodity? We have products like cassava, which we can be able to get unga from cassava. We have even coconut products from the coast. And today, as we speak, we have flour for coconut flour, which is like the one for chapati, the other one. We have arrowroots and many other products that can be able to be,
we agree with you.
Yeah, and we need to diversify, because as I've said, at the end of the day, these issues are all affecting us.
Mheshimiwa, we actually agree with you. the plan, the thinking, it makes sense. It is logical. It would even have made more sense as a campaign narrative. It does. It does. See, the problems we have cannot only be solved by the government. Mm-hmm. It cannot be solved only by the politicians. It's a simple fact. Mm-hmm. They can play a very big role in it. Mm-hmm. And why I say they can play a very big role in it is, ask yourself this simple question. When something that is patently obvious and the benefits not difficult to explain, when we keep going around it in circles and people are saying, no, 1%, we don't want 1%. Housing, who told you we don't want a house? What makes you think we want? Even if I have a house, I'd like a second house, and even a third one, and even a fourth one. These are good things. We have to ask the question, what are we actually dealing with here? We had the principal secretary in the Department of Housing here. He explained these things really very well. Yeah. And as I said, you cannot doubt the logic behind it. You cannot doubt that these things make sense, and you cannot doubt that there'll be benefits. So, beyond the political push against it, what else is the problem? And this is my view. The Kenya Kwanza government came in with a lot of hope and a lot of faith. It had a lot of goodwill from the Mwananchi. That goodwill is slowly being lost. When people lose goodwill, even the loveliest and the most wonderful things when proposed, people will spend more time looking for faults in that thing instead of looking at the benefits that are patent and are obvious. So the question I would ask is, how do you get people to gain the faith they had? How do you get them? Because everything that is being said on the face of it makes perfect sense.
It's a good concern in terms of the people. But you see, one thing that you're missing is what the opposition has come out hard hitting in terms of the negativity, because they are our people.
Have they come up with any solution themselves?
Nothing. Exactly. Very good question. Nothing. What they've come up is always picketing, and that is what they best do. And why are they doing that? They are doing that so that they can be able to maintain their people. They can be able to maintain their supporters in the regard that this thing is bad. So that negativity. Why are they doing it? The reason they cannot bring solutions or even amendments, and they have not even participated in that, is so as to maintain their people. The question is then, how are we ensuring that our people are still with us and they're still trusting with us? Yeah. Have you seen any hustlers bringing concerns? The ones who have brought concerns, they have brought concerns to the committee, and we've been able to do amendments. Look at the issue of the content creators. It was at 15%. It's now at 5%. It has been reduced because there is communication. For us, we are still talking to our people, and at the same time, we have